Hey guys, Alex the Garden Dude here, coming with you with another worm bin update. Just wanted to start here with some worm castings here. If you remember in my last update, I harvested some worm castings from the left side here of the bin. Well, I found this thing at the Goodwill for like $3, and I was like, oh, this is way better because it's a lot more shallow, more air can like come through into it, a lot more surface area to dry up castings. So I've been letting this dry for a cure for about 2 weeks now, and you see here it's starting to get really nice. And there was a problem when I first started. It was very like huge clumps. Like there's not even big enough clumps to kind of show you anymore. Now it's like kind of getting nice and crumbly, or I can like soon sift it. But it was just like big clumps, and they were just really wet and muddy. And yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of an indicator that my system is running too wet, which kind of sucks. I mean, my worms don't seem unhappy, because that's good. I mean, they're still, doing their thing. They're still worming. But the castings were super wet and took a good 2 weeks just to start getting dry, so it's starting to get crumbly like this. It's still not as flaky as I've seen in some other videos, like Emily and, everyone else who, they run their systems inside and they kind of regulate their moisture a little better, and it's all just like super nice and flaky, like just like dirt. And yeah, so I mean, so I'm gonna need to regulate my moisture. I'm not gonna do it with this feeding if I do end up feeding them, depending on how well they went through the last feeding. I might just skip it, depending. But yeah, I'm gonna have to start kind of taking that into consideration, I think. And even though there's more, the excess moisture, the worms are still going. So I don't know. Kind of take it with a grain of salt, I suppose. Anyway, so let's get into it here. So here's the bin. I haven't looked in here at all since the last time I made a video. Keep that out of the way. Get rid of these guys. So yeah, when I harvested these castings over here, I went through a good portion of all of it down here, and I went all the way to the bottom that was like super kind of muddy. I'm afraid to see like what it is down here on this side, since I've just been focused on here, but it's probably the same condition. But let's see how we're doing. I want to look on this side first. See how they're getting on. Yep, here we go. Hey, buddy. Oh, I start to see the clitellum. The clitellum there is showing, so he's mature. I'm really surprised at how well these worms have been doing out here. It's been getting a little chilly. Well, I'm supposed to be getting some snow tomorrow up here in my part of northern part of Seattle, but why are you waking us up? But yeah, this is all looking good, but it's very wet. Sorry, this phone doesn't want to focus. Okay, so let's see. Let's see, this is the side that I fed last week. And immediately, there are tons of worms just right here on the surface, which is a good sign. Oh yeah. Holy smokes. Look at that, guys. Beautiful worms. Let's see. Oh, I see some flies. looks like one of the mandarins I threw in. Oh yes, look at that. They are gorgeous. Gorgeous red wigglers. Ooh, it smells very orangey in here, which is nice. Very citrusy. Here, this piece of freaking cabbage that will never ever stop. It's been in here for like over a month now. I think I put it in here before Christmas. I think maybe in my first update. No, probably no, it was before Christmas. So let's see. I got these mandarins here. Oh, yep. There's some worms attached on here. Looks like they've gone through a lot of this stuff. A lot of this is just bedding, moisture, and a few leftover odds and ends. Like this guy. These orange peels. Oh, here's this banana peel. It still hasn't broken down yet. That's not surprising though. They take a little longer. It smells really good. It's so super orangey. It doesn't smell bad at all. Actually smells really great. So, I know I was just complaining and starting off this whole thing about saying how my system is kind of wet. But I think I am going to go ahead and give it a feeding today, since it has been 2 weeks and they probably are a little hungry for a little more. This pumpkin seed has been here since October and it's still just sitting here. It'd be funny if it starts sprouting. Oh no, did it start? Looks like it might have split a little bit. Anyway, sorry, the focus is getting all wonky on here. My phone does not like focusing. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is feed a little bit right on top of this old feeding. And then I'm going to let this sit probably for another 2 weeks. I really like making updates, but my worms need time to digest because I feed them a lot. But I'm going to start working on that. It's my new goal for 2019. It's not overfeed my worms and make them big fatties. Need to put them on a diet. I've been watching Grant's channel. I don't know if you guys know Grant. I'm sure you have if you're following me. But Grant has a really cool night crawler bin, and I kind of want to make one because they look big and juicy and super hungry all the time. So I kind of want to do that, and I think it would be kind of cool to have night crawlers too for fishing and maybe even just selling them, you know, make a little extra money. But anyway, that's probably coming up maybe in the next couple months once it starts getting warm enough to have another bin out here. I don't want to test things too much. Anyway, okay, here we go. Sorry, I'm rambling here. Put some fresh bedding down first. And guys, I gotta say, I mean, I know I've heard people say, you know, only use print paper. Don't use anything glossy. Don't use anything with, you know, like the fancy paper. And I ignored that and I shredded it and I've had it in my bin and I've been pulling out little strips of plastic. Like all the paper behind it has been decomposed and it's just a little strip of the gloss, the plastic gloss. And they've been a pain in the butt to get out of here. So yeah, really, it's really important to make sure you're using the right paper. I mean, it's not going to hurt the worms. The worms obviously don't care, but it's just to save yourself a headache of having to either pick them out when you're sifting out your castings, or if you're just throwing this into your garden, then you're going to have little bits of plastic, like little strips of plastic in your garden bed, you know, when you dig around in there. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Okay. Put some eggshells down. My castings that I just have been drying out and curing to sift, I noticed there's a lot of eggshells in there, which is great. I'm gonna, you know, put in whatever is unprocessed in here and whatever else is gonna go into my garden. But it's good that it's either gonna make its way back into my garden, or these guys are just consuming them, all of them. Oops, hello. Okay, let's see what we got here. So today we got some strawberries. I got some strawberries when I was at the grocery store last week, or last 2 weeks ago, whatever. Some coffee. Ooh, that coffee smells really good. There's another banana peel. There's another mandarin that started getting all gross on me. Some grapes, apple core, some tea bags. It's really wet, which is again my problem. I am too overgenerous when I feed my worms. But I just want to make sure that they're eating right. I don't want them to get too skinny. I'm a worried parent. Okay. Put some more bedding on there. Spread this out a little, even it out. And I think we're gonna call it a day. I think that's about it, guys. So hopefully in another 2 weeks, all of that will have broken down. I'm sure that cabbage bottom will still be, or that lettuce bottom will still be there, because it does not want to ever go away. And I keep giving the worms really good stuff, and so they're like, why have that when there's all the other good stuff? So they're just leaving it be. But anyway, hopefully that'll all be down, and then I will have a proper feeding for this bin next time. I promise I won't feed them this entire huge thing full of food that I usually feed them, because I get overzealous. But I mean, I usually put this stuff, like keep it in the freezer and defrost it a day before I'm going to feed. So all this stuff should break down pretty well. The freezing process and then defrosting really breaks down all the cellular walls of all the food, which is really great. And yeah, so yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Sorry I'm rambling a little bit, but I really enjoy talking worms. And yeah, if you like this, please hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. I'd appreciate that too. I know I keep saying it, but eventually I will get around to making some garden videos. It's still cold out here. You can see here though, I got my little tomato plants, my starters going. They're starting to grow their first true leaves, which is amazing. And I just started in there today some kale. What else did I start? Thai basil, Italian basil, and there was one more, sage. That's right, sage. So I'm gonna try to do a whole thing. I have a really cool idea that I'm gonna do, that I'll probably post some pictures of on Instagram once I get it up and hanging. And I'll probably do a video too once I start getting my garden videos going. You'll see it. But for my herbs and stuff. Anyway, okay, I need to stop ranting. This is almost 15 minutes long. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.